නමෝ තස්ස භගවතු අරහතෝ සම්මා සම්බුද්දස්ස නමෝ තස්ස භගවතු අරහතෝ සම්මා සම්බුද්දස්ස නමෝ තස්ස භගවතු අරහතෝ සම්මා සම්බුද්දස්ස. Homage to the Blessed One, the Exalted One, and the fully enlightened One. May the blessings of the Triple Gem be upon you all, friends and children. At this time, we are going to have a Dhamma sermon, Dhamma session, Dhamma discussions, especially focused on children. So I can start it like this. It's a part of what I experienced in my childhood. I still remember my childhood, even though I am a Buddhist monk and grown monk at this time. I was about 5 or 6 years old at the time. It was the time that almost all the boys and girls of my age made kites. It's very famous, very special time. Children are fond of making kites. Some boys were very clever to make beautiful kites, and they flew them in the sky, in the air. Actually, to us, it is no doubt that to Sri Lanka, it is every month like summer, so hot. But especially, we made kites during April, May, and June. Because to Sri Lanka at that time, to the region and area and villages, it was windy. It was a windy time. I am coming from the hilly and mountainous region in Sri Lanka. I was born there in Balimat, near Nuwara. So sometimes we had cold weather, sometimes we had warm weather, hot weather, but in the morning and the evenings, very cold, similar to New Zealand. So I still remember how eagerly and hopefully I asked my father to make a kite for me. My father loved me very much, and he said, "Yes, I will make a kite for you." Since then, I was impatiently waiting for my father to make a kite for me. So one day, my father was about to go to the city, township nearby, to purchase something, but I thought to myself that it was to purchase and buy some tissue papers for me, tissue papers to make a special kite for me, to fulfill my request. So my father just left the house. I saw that he was just walking towards the main road, the other side of the hill. He was walking. I saw him. It was quite a happy and pleasurable and happy sight because he was going to the city. I surely knew that my father will buy a tissue paper and will make a kite for me because my age at that time was about 5, 6 years old, small child. Because today in New Zealand, I am speaking and talking to youngsters, tweens and teenagers. But what I'm sharing at this time with you is something happened to me when I was a little boy. So my father was waiting for a bus at the bus station. I also was looking at him. The bus was late at that time. and that the bus being late created some unhappy mood in myself. So still, my father was waiting for the bus by the side of the road, the bus station. But looking at him, I was waiting a bus for my father. Then after some times, a bus came and stopped for my father. Father got into the bus. Then the bus started to run. From the point where the bus started, I was looking at the bus and the bus was traveling. So since then, I was waiting for my father to come. And I could not, tolerate it. My eyes were focusing on the street and the directions where the father went, and also the city. And from time to time, from the inside the home, I came out and just check whether there was a bus, because I now am waiting for my father to come back. Previously, I was waiting my father to go to the city. So after some times, it's not actually in short time, but it took about a couple of hours. However, my father came back at home in the evening. So you see, I had a dream at that time. I had a hope at that time. My idea, my hope, my so however, my father came back in the evening. I was impatient until he just entered the house. I was impatiently waiting for him what he was going to say and also what he was going to do. I want to say that what he purchased not for the house and groceries things, but for me. That is the tissue papers to make kite. Ultimately, what happened, that my father sadly said that all the tissue papers were sold and he could not purchase one for me. And he promised that the following day or after some time or some days, he would again go back or go to the city and will buy tissues and make a kite for me. When I heard the father's statement and the father saying that like that, I was completely disappointed. I was completely frustrated. My hopes my hopes and dreams on that day fell apart, all broken, all collapsed. You see how my mind worked as a boy when I was 5, 6 years old. Still, I can remember, I can ponder upon, I can remember what I experienced in my childhood. Today, I can contemplate. Today, I can look at it from the Dharma point of view, what I experienced, because we are now grown one. But the children's mind and grown and elderly people's minds work differently. Now we are talking to the children because I just share my experiences with children. Even though the elderly adults and parents are there sitting nearby, but my talk, my experience, my Dhamma talk and Dhamma experience, and also the sharing is mainly with children. So this is how I experienced. You see how sad I became on that day. I could not just hold my tears, and also I could not speak any single word. But my parents knew that. Even though I just went to the bed to sleep, still that I could not sleep because still that frustration was haunting in my mind. It was going round and round. And a stream of thoughts came to me. What will happen tomorrow? And because when I saw the other boys of my age and also the village neighbors' houses, when they played kite, when they just through the kites in the sky, I could not follow it because I am just a boy with empty hands. I have not anything because I just go to them, and if they were nicely playing, I was looking at them. That is so. Because I am not included to the group. You see, that also created some frustration, some sad, and so times I just run back to the house, and again I cannot stay at the home. Again, I just run to the place where they were playing. So all the thoughts came to me when I was sleeping. However, see, streams of thoughts. Many thoughts came, and after being tired, I got to sleep. The following day morning, again, I woke up. What happened? The very first thought I got the following day morning was that the same thing. I stopped where when I was going to sleep. You see how the children's minds work and children's minds play. So this bit of things to share with you. Today, I'm especially talking to the children living in New Zealand. Maybe some people are watching this program from some other countries, I don't know. But however, mainly focusing the children living in New Zealand. So I want to just uh, explain couple of words, not many, but few words with you. That much would be enough to just contemplate in your life. You see, the what is the word, the meaning of the word stress? Stress. Sometimes we get, I'm very stressful, and I'm frustrated. I'm very sad, and I can't tolerate. I can't bear it up. So these words just we always utter and just say, what is the stress? All the children should understand what is the stress. A funny word is there, but sincerely, I like this word. Sincerely, I like this word to speak. The use in New Zealand and also in the countries where the English language is spoken. Because if you are in Sri Lanka, if you are in Sri Lanka, instead of stress, they people, villagers use other words. Villagers normally say that, stress. They don't say that stress. They say that in Sinhala, you look like Degune. Degune. Degune means kind of uh, moody aspect. Oh, when children and people just utter some, the uh, words and statements not related to, then the villages and also Sri Lankan used to say that you look like in Degune. Sometimes they say that it's a little bit pissu agi. People say, but here this it is not pissu. It is not Degune. Some bad stressful thought hurt you inside. That is what happened. That is what I experienced in my childhood when I did not get what I expected from my father. That is the only kite. Then it hurt me. It hurt me very much. So it is not Deguni. It is not any other kind of the psychiatrism, but mental thoughts are there. I could not get along with that. That is what happened. So stress. What is stress? In the Buddha's teaching, we we find a very famous word called Buddha's teaching. It describes the mental things mainly in three different ways: the desire and anger and the delusion, or you can say greed, hatred, and delusion. Lobha, dosa, moha. But here, I did not have, after my father's return, I did not have desire, but my desire changed and turned into ill will, hatred. And it is not a big hate, but it is a kind of little bit, little amount of hateful thoughts, hurting thoughts, angry thoughts came to me. But here in the West, we call it stress. Stress is actually it is like a widely spoken, widely used term, word, stress. You see, just think about the children life. There are many reasons. When you get stressed, when you feel stressed, it is like your mind is a little bit unpleasant. Your body is not fit enough. Your mind is not well enough. You can't think anything else. You are stuck and framed in a particular thought, particular object, particular dream, particular something. You cannot get out of it. But also at the same time, you find that you cannot fulfill it as you think, as you wish. So still you are stuck in it. So then it will hurt you. And also when you feel that disappointment, as I experienced in my childhood, it is also hurting. And the other thing is when you have a too much workload to fulfill, to write, to draw, and to homework. If you are given as children are asked to do homework, too much homework. When you have too much homework, then you just get frustrated and you cannot go to play, you cannot do any other things because you have some responsibility, you have some work to do. So when you remember the works that you are going to do, that you have to do, it will hurt you. That is also type of frustration, type of stress, and that is one way. The other thing is too much advices, too much orders, too much instructions from parents, teachers also make children stressful. Sometimes the children don't like to listen to their parents because it is quite, even though they hear the words and advices and sayings of parents, they just keep silent. Like, they remain like they don't hear anything. That sort of, the behavior we can find in children. And the other thing is too much advices, instructions, too much work, and also the children asked uh, to obey to the teachers and elders, and also to do some kind of works at home, at school. Then also they get frustrated, and also they are not happy. What brings these advices to them? Type of stress. And also they have to just handle this stress very carefully. We should know what the stress is. We should know the cause of stress, the reason why you get stressed, and also you should know and understand how you get out of that stress, and also the what should you do to just get rid of that stress and also remain in good health. You have to just understand. I sometimes I talk to children here, sometimes from schools nearby, the local schools. Children come to our place. They have some family problems there because their parents are divorced. Then they become quite. They become like the children sitting on the fence, and some children experience kind of unpleasant and stressful things like this week they should go to the father, the next week they are taken to their mother's side. So these kind of things also create stress in children. You have to understand not only the homework and things. In a certain way it is okay. The other stressful thing is being bullied at school, and also when you just mingle up with being with other communities or children of other communities and other nations. If you are that area or the place where you study or learn or play is not your comfortable zone, then the other children may come and also they may bully you. So it creates kind of stress in children. Kind of stress means you don't like it. It is a kind of disliking. Disliking. It's a kind of anger. You don't like it. You don't appreciate it. That is what we call stress. It's a anger. It's a tarha. So you have to understand the areas and places and the reasons from where you get stress, from where the stress come to you. If you children find some unpleasurable and miserable situation and things happen to your life, you have to talk to your father, mother, parents especially, and also if you are helpless at the school, you have to just report the incident or something happened into your life to the principal or the teacher. That is important. And also we should understand the value of the time. Time is golden. Time is valuable. Sometimes we get stressed when you just use the cell phone and mobile and internet too much. That is also kind of the source of stress. If you are addicted to use, quite strongly addicted, you cannot live without cell phone. Just the sending the emails and also checking emails. That is also kind of stressful things. Then what happen if they are not happy? The children, uh, you see, twins and teens can the find some other things, and especially uh, parents also should understand this. Teenagers, especially from 13 to 19, because yeah, parents should focus your attention to them because they are physically. It is a kind of physical change, mental change, behavioral pattern change. Everything is changing in their life. Sometimes it's very hard for them. Sometimes they become stubborn. It is not actually. It is not a kind of special kind of ailment or sickness or something. It is natural things, but parents should be skillful and understand to handle the teenagers in a skillful way, not harming them and also just appreciating them. We have to welcome them, their attitude, their sayings, their suggestions. And something I can tell you, In my childhood, because I came to this age, passing my teenage years, being tween, and again teen and young, and became youth, and I still remember the path, way, and life path from where I have come to this stage. I remember things. When I speak to my parents and adults and elder sisters and brothers, my uncles and aunties, if I find that they are not ready to listen to me, then I get frustrated. It is similarly, it may happen to your children. It happens to your children because children like to be heard, not hurt. Children, tweens, teenagers like their elders, parents listening to them, their teachers listening to them. Then they are happy. Then you can sort out so many problems. You know, when you just parents keep silent, parents are away from the children and teenagers. What happened? They get quite helpless, very helpless. When I talk to the children nearby here in Wellington region, sometimes the children come to the school, girls and children come, students, they say so many things of their life. Very sad. Fortunately, Sri Lankan parents are very clever to, raise their own children. Very rarely we find parents are divorced. That is also affect their life. When parents get separated, parents are going on their own way and searching and looking after their comfort, their happiness. But when they find some happiness for them, at the same time, their own children, teenagers become quite frustrated and helpless. To what side I should go? To what side I should fall? These are sources of sources of stress, reasons for children to have stress. We should understand mindfully. That is also, you see, untold kind of thoughts are fastly running in them, in children. So it is a stress. That means stress means dislike, hurting, ill will. So this is how we should, in a certain way, understand stress. Now we can see stress, tarha, dislike, hurting, and the moody aspect of a life. Now we should understand, uh, how about you just get out of that? Get out of that stress. It's very peaceful. That is what we just help. That is what we as monks do to the communities, especially because parents have different stressful situations. Their workplaces, and also sometimes in the responsibilities, financial setback, and some other, the family matters come to you. The parents and elderly people stressful situations are quite different to the children. Children are, their life is different. So they have some kind of expectations, and also we should not forget that what the Buddha also mentioned. Buddha mentioned this. There are three types of pride and infatuations, or we can say simply that mother intoxications, infatuations, intoxications. Pride is kind of pride. Uh, that means the pride of youthfulness. It comes to you. And second one is the pride of good health, pride in health. The other one is pride of life, the pride of youthfulness, because every child, every twins, when you ask what is your hope now, I also sometimes when children come here, I ask, what is your hope? Almost all the children say that I want to grow up fastly growing, to become a big man or a big girl. That is one thing, because they like youth to become kind of the grown youth. They don't like to become elderly, quite old woman, old man. That is not true. They like to become young one, youths. And also the teenagers, when they are in 50s, 60s, and 70s years, they look bright and shiny and very clever, smart boys and girls. With that, they have a kind of pride because of their age, because of their look, because of their health, because of their the cleverness, everything. And they have very little responsibility. They have responsibilities with study and some other simple things. They don't have responsibility of making money and financial matters. They are fed by their parents. So in that case, they don't have that to finding food and going to the groceries and looking after things. That much responsibility have not come yet. But with that, what happened to them, the physical change, the mental change, with that, they become kind of proud. And it is a mental pattern, the thought patterns is called Yobbana mother. Youthfulness brings you a kind of pride. Intoxication. It's not physical intoxication, but mental. The second one is pride of health. Because when you are a teenager, very rarely teenagers get sick. Sometimes simply you may get flu types of things. Other than that, serious things very rare. It may be due to a past karma. Otherwise, you just remain good in good health. Good health also creates type of infatuations or intoxications or pride. Third one is life. Life means I am. The youngsters don't think very much, the anicca, the impermanence of life, change in aspect of everything. Maybe it's a subject for their study, and but actually they don't just think quite related to their life. They have kind of I am a living being, I am a human being, I am a man, I am a girl. That sort of thoughts you make it. And also at the same time you have human rights. That is also human rights. Whatever happened to you, you may just run after human rights cases. That's the way, life and health. Because they are looking after their own rights. I need to be, I should be free from these custody. They are under custody of their parents. They don't like to be under the guidance of anything. That is the mentality. That is the behavior. That is the thought that children get. So sometimes the children, some teenagers, I talk to them. They are still waiting for the 18 to become, because lawfully when you are 18, after the 18th birthday, you are considered and regarded to be a very grown one, because since then you can go wherever you like, wherever you want. You see, still they are looking for rights, but the even though they have that like that the searching after rights, they are not still 18 years old. That is also create a source of stress. It happens so. So this is how we should understand the small type of tarha or ill will and stressful mentality and bad thoughts. And if you get, the continuously, if you get, this bad ill will, it may make you sick. And firstly, the stress is created. Stress comes up. If it becomes grown and stronger and stronger, then it may be the reason for the other high stage, that is depression. So this is how we should understand stress and also its aspect and character, the nature, and also the reasons. Next, we should understand how peacefully we can live if we are able to get rid of it. That is the Buddha's teaching for you, because Buddha's teaching is for that. We are not in a life, in a nation, in a country where everything is perfect. We should understand that. We came to this world for some time. Those who came to this world by birth previously, before us, many years ago, they just start to go. And also your grandparents, grandmother, grandfather, and also grand aunties and uncles, they have gone. Some of them have already gone. And we are not actually the perfect. And also the country and the place and region and area where we live is not perfect. But anyway, we should train our mind to accept these things. Then stress will not come. When you try to become a very perfectionist, perfect man, perfect girl, then that being perfectionist creates more and more stress. We should understand some are not in an order, some are working in out of order. Situation, understanding the situations, we should handle it. If it is difficult for children to just cope with it, then you have to report uh, to your parents. By that way, you can get rid of it. You can be mindful, and also not to hurt anyone. Very important. I was in one of the forest monasteries in Sri Lanka. Then one day, with the Dana supporters, there came a little boy. He told me that how he was bullied by the other children of the school because he was short. He was short, and they just bullied him, and also they joked at him, saying that shorter or mitta. Mitta is not very pleasant and acceptable word. Is true, but mitta is the children don't like to uh, hear that. They don't like to accept it. So then he was very skillful boy. He said again with other, along with when other children, other boys and girls started to call him Mitta and also just laugh at him, he also the same times followed their path, and he also started to just call Mitta and Mitta, Mitta and Mitta, short boy. Then no one knew that to whom they were called Mitta. because he also, that is, little boy also started to call the same words. He was very clever to just handle the situations when he was bullied by others. Other thing is we have vision. We have a vision and we have mission. Vision and mission. Vision is an idea, a mental picture, a dream, or foresight. We all have a foresight. What you are going to be, what you are going to be when you are as grown one, after your education, after 20, 25 years, when you are 20 or 25 years, what is your job? What is your profession? What are you going to be? You have a dream, you have foresight, or you have a hope, you have mental picture, imagination. That is your vision as children, as tweens and teens. Then that imagination is still not enough. Then you have to just implement or do that mission. Mission is working for the task, undertaking the responsibility, or working for that vision. And when you become a 20 years old, 20 or 21 or 25, is a girl or a boy, and very young, very youth, at that time, in that age, what are you going to be? Because you have a dream to become a doctor, an engineer, and teacher, and also someone in other professions. You have some idea, you have mental imagination. So then you have to just work for that task. That is called mission. Mission, just work hardly. You should have very good courage, determination, courage, enthusiasm. So, as parents, teachers, and guides, and monks, we should point out to the children this courage, this determination, and because not much, they are not with much experiences like elderly people, parents. So that is what the part we should share with them. So, children, you should listen to your parents, your teachers, monks, and also their custodians and your elderly uh, aunties, uncles, and if they are talking to you, become a courageous boy or girl, understand the importance of learning and education, and have very good determination. And if you are just following your education path in righteous way, and also just the even though little bit heart, it truly it hurt you to just the when you always every day when you can just complete one lesson and just given from the school, when you just finish it again another load will come. But anyway, you can have a very good vision because this vision is there, and this mission, the homework and some other responsibilities at school and also at home is part of your mission. So Buddha's teaching is for that. The other thing is very important: mindfulness. Mindfulness, awareness is a remedy to overcome that stressful situations of your life. Understand the miserable things. The more you get into your life, the more you become stressful. The more you just relax and also not hurt in your mind, the better and clearer you become good person, and also you becomes very stress-free boy, stress-free girl, and quite comfortable life zone you are living in. That is the brief thing and the little bit things for your contemplation and also understanding today. I just, it's not like real Jataka story types of things, but I would like to just talk about how our mind works when we just live with parents and also at school and also with our neighborhood. The other important things, this is not Sri Lanka, this is New Zealand, and also the children's behavior in New Zealand, in Australia, and children's behavior in Sri Lanka is completely different, completely different, and we should understand that difference as well. Some for you, but it is not thoroughly available in Sri Lanka as you just find here in New Zealand. And some things are available in Sri Lanka, but is not available here. That is the way it is. So we should understand. And if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. I wish you all the best, good health during this lockdown period, especially because of this coronavirus spread. And we all are stuck in places and in houses, at homes, and we have very limited spaces and some restrictions to just when you just go to shopping centers and temples because we are not advised and asked to gather together in numbers, big numbers. So therefore we are thoroughly stuck in places. So during this time I wish you good health, peaceful life, and also mental skillfulness, ability, and also just read. The other thing is literature. Literature is very good and it's a kind of the strong remedy to overcome the mental stress. Literature, stories, and biographies, reading, writing, creative writing, and also something to just the make some writings and also share it with the other parents, maybe others is good. And just going on the internet the whole time, it is harmful thoroughly because it creates kind of anticipation. Every 5 minutes, you are curious, you are wanting to check your mobile and internet. Just get out of that. So, to have a very good life, to live a very good, peaceful life, I wish you all the best. Once again, may the blessings of the Triple Gem be upon you all, and also may you all have the good, positive energy to practice Dhamma during this time, and also time to read the Dhamma books, time to talk with venerable monks, time to practice meditation, and also just creating positive energies in your life, ultimately finding the peaceful Dhamma path towards Nibbana, creating, practicing all the spiritual faculties in yourself. Ultimately, may all of you attain supreme bliss of Nibbana. That is the only wish I just invoke to you all today. Thank you very much. May the blessings of the Triple Gem be upon you all. Terubang Sarana.